What's up, team? I was just speaking to Kez and I was saying, you know that saying, if I had a dime for every time I heard that, I'd be rich. For me, that's coaches saying, should I be charging upfront or monthly recurring revenue in their coaching business? If this is you, if you're a coach who's wondering, should you be looking for more upfront payments or should you be charging and getting and building your monthly recurring revenue, then this video is for you, because I'm going to break down exactly the pricing model you need to use for your business and how you can ensure you get the most profit and the most leverage possible. I say this from someone who's built a recurring revenue business up to €35,000 a month with 160 active clients for my business back in 2021. And then I introduced a high ticket upfront model for that fitness business, which was able to double revenue. But I'm not here to say paid in fulls and high ticket is the way to go. I'm not here to say monthly recurring revenue is the way to go. I want to break down how you can get the best of both worlds. Before I talk you through monthly recurring revenue and a high ticket model, what they exactly are and what you should be doing, I actually want you to look at something from a different perspective, and that's the success zones of your business. And I'm going to use a personal experience of myself and the different success zones I've been through with the pricing and the offers I've been doing, so you can understand what level you're at right now and where we essentially want to get you to. So we have success zone at the bottom, which is survival. So this was me in my own fitness business for the first 1 year, 2 years when I was doing this part-time in university. I didn't really have an offer in place. I didn't have the right pricing in place. And I was kind of like winging things and making things up. And what I realized was stress was really high. I was in a bit of chaos and the business actually had a lot more potential than I was doing. So if you feel like this is you, you're undervaluing yourself, you're undercharging, you're taking a lot of people on. Sometimes it might be a short 8-week package. Sometimes it's someone on a low monthly, but it's just a bit of a mess. Then you're in the survival stage. So we obviously want to get you out of that. So from here, I did get out of this phase and I went into the stability phase. So this was good. It ensured that I could kind of grow from a place of abundance instead of a place of scarcity. I was building revenue, but eventually with building that revenue, it was really hard to break through to the income levels that I wanted. Things were stable, they were growing, but in a small way. And actually in certain points, I got to a position where things were plateauing and it was very much like one client in, one client out. I didn't know what I needed to do to grow to the next level. So with that, I eventually learned high ticket sales. And again, this video isn't saying, let's just do high ticket sales. It's going to be teaching you all the lessons I've had through years of running my fitness business. But what this did initially for me was getting me into the scale phase. So this was huge. So if I was to like talk this through in terms of income levels for me, here is about like 0 to 5K per month. When I was in the stability phase, we were able to grow to 35K-ish per month. And this was essentially what got us up to a 7-figure fitness business. So they're kind of the different phases that we're in. And I'm going to now talk you through monthly recurring revenue, paid in fulls, considerations you should be taking, and the exact model you should be using so you can get to here. I now want to talk you through monthly recurring revenue and high ticket models, what they exactly are, and what this will not only do to your business, but to your psychology. So just before I dive into it, just so we're very clear on what we're talking about, monthly recurring revenue is essentially people paying you on a monthly subscription. They're set up as a direct debit, standing order. This is something that's guaranteed to come into your business month to month. This is your existing clients that are paying you month after month, essentially. So it's great for stability, as mentioned. The high ticket model is when people pay you in bulk for a period of time for coaching. So this can be 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. They're paying you up front for the duration of their coaching program. They're essentially paying for the result in the program as opposed to doing something on a monthly basis. So now I want to speak you through exactly what that does for the business, but as I mentioned, your psychology as well. And this is where I had the biggest unlock in my own development. Now I want to show what monthly recurring revenue and high ticket actually looks in your business. So if someone is using a monthly recurring revenue model in their coaching business, it essentially is going to look a bit like this. It's pretty safe, things are pretty stable. You might have some up and down if there's some client churn or there's a bigger month of sales, but there's not a huge amount of moving. This is why people feel safe, but also feel stuck. It's good for someone who wants to have a business where they want stability, they want that safety, However, in my opinion, they don't reach their true potential in terms of business income, but also their own personal development, how good they get at sales. And I'm going to show you why when we talk about high ticket. So when it comes to high ticket, the model here looks a bit different. As you can see, it's a lot more volatile. Things move a lot more. And this is why people feel powerful, but they also feel anxious, because every month they feel like they're starting again in terms of what they need to do. They don't have the stability that they have here. However, if they have a really good lead gen process and a really good sales process, their potential that they have is so much more. And what I believe, which is so underrated, when you see that potential come to life, when you see those bigger cash payments come in, your belief, your confidence, who you become increases. You see your self-worth in a completely different way. And let's be frank, trying to get someone to sign up for a monthly on a call versus trying to get someone to pay you high ticket on a call requires a huge difference in terms of skill. So your ability to get better at sales, which is not only going to help you short term here, but it's going to help you in life and business in general, is going to completely change. So what I would say is, from what I'm saying here, you can see I'm leaning towards high ticket in terms of the person it makes you become. However, for me, everything is about building a business and a life that you want to allow you to live in the way that you do, and to wake up every day with peace, wake up every day with drive to be better and fulfillment in the work that you do. And that's why I believe sequencing two of these is what you need to build the best and most profitable coaching business in 2026.
Connor's not going to ask you to subscribe, so I'm here. Subscribe to the channel, keep it going, keep it rolling, and if you found this valuable, you want to subscribe for more.
As a coach, you've definitely had a conflict. Should you just focus on monthly recurring revenue, or should you push for upfront high ticket sales? And I get it. It's a tough one to understand, because one, there's that craving of stability and not feeling like you're chasing things every month. But on the other end, you see the appeal of getting more money upfront, higher revenue months. But it kind of leaves you in a point of like, okay, what's actually the right move for me? What's the right move for my business? So I want to talk you through that exact model, the hybrid approach, how we're going to set it up for your business and what to consider with the MRR side of things and the high ticket upfront side of things. But before diving into that, I just want to talk about a bit more around how we feel if we're doing one, how we feel if we're doing the other, and how we want to essentially be feeling. And if someone is just focused on MRR, they're in a place where, yes, they feel stable and safe, but they deep down know they're stunting their own progress. Or even worse, they might actually be completely ignorant to it. They don't actually realize the potential that they have, and they're in the safety comfort blanket that they don't know what's outside of that. And I believe if they stay too strong in that, it's a place of scarcity. On the flip side, people who do high ticket sales and paid in fulls, I've spoken to business owners in those positions, and they come to me stressed, anxious, wondering where the next sale is going to come from, wondering if they're going to be able to pay for their team, if they don't have their lead gen and sales intact, and also if they've got ill advice from people previously, which happens. So we want the best of both worlds, essentially. And I say best of both worlds, you might say that seems like a dream, but it's something you can make happen. And that's how we can get the business to a point where every month you feel stable, you feel it's in a good position, and there's a decent base there. But also you have this exciting drive of the potential you have, the higher revenue months, big PB months, having more cash than you ever thought was possible, and being able to leverage that back into the business, into enjoying yourself and your life on a personal level so you can live the life that you want. So I'm going to talk you through that exact model now and how we're going to set it up. I now want to talk you through the momentum model. This is a pricing model for you to have in your coaching business in 2026 and beyond if you want a business that allows you to have huge amount of cash, huge amount of leverage, huge amount of profit, and pretty low stress as well. So what that looks like, you can see, is a mix between high ticket and MRR. But this is going to be very dependent on your business and your life expenses. So there's an MRR baseline in place. And the way I set this up with clients and the way I'm going to set it up with you is you want your MRR baseline to cover business and life expenses. Why? Because if we have stability around business and life expenses, you can then grow from a place of abundance, not from a place of scarcity. The way that you show up in your content, the way that you show up in your sales calls, everything changes because you feel secure and you feel like you know the business is going to cover exactly what you need in the month. But of course, we don't want to just cover what we need to cover. We want a huge amount of growth. We want a huge amount of profit. We want you to be able to live a life that you never thought was possible. And that doesn't come from this alone. This is your security, your stability. It allows my clients to have peace of mind and being able to grow each month and actually enjoy their work day to day. And this actually makes the next section more fun because the high ticket is then what we call our growth money. So this is essentially everything on top of it. So once we know we have business and life expenses covered, for me, I want to push high ticket sales as much as possible because this is going to get my clients and it's going to get your business to a point of record-breaking cash months in the business. And what does this do? It's not just about making the money, it's a leverage that gives you. A leverage to add to your team, to give you more free time, to increase your marketing spend, to increase your ad spend, to allow you invest in things outside of your business and essentially create generational wealth for you. So this is the mix between high ticket and MRR. This is what I recommend for your business, the momentum model. If you found that valuable and you want help implementing the momentum model in your coaching business in 2026, then just click below, drop me a DM, we can have a chat and I'll show you how you can set it up for your business.
Subscribe.